All right. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Vibing, where we celebrate, explore. What was my line? Where we celebrate, support, and explore local food and beverage people, local organizations. I'm here with Andrew and Nick Renteria of Dahlia Tapas. Very excited to be here. First of all, I've never been in here, so I'm very excited to be in here and check it out. And second of all, you guys were a huge part of the Sunday dinner at the Deuce in April, where we did the whole mole thing, and you did an incredible job. So we'll talk a little bit about how that was for you, and then but I just want to start giving you guys a chance to sort of introduce yourselves, kind of give me a bit of your background and how you got to owning this really cool restaurant off of 7th Street. And yeah, give me the thing. And just so the mic is there, so just try to sort of talk at it a little bit.
So my name's Nick. I've been cooking for about 8 years now. I wasn't always in culinary. I kind of, after graduated, went into law enforcement, figured out that wasn't where I wanted to go. Did a couple of jobs, Chase Bank, and then actually took autoclore as my gateway into culinary.
Okay.
But also this guy right here too. He's kind of been the one to push me to do better in this field. And yeah, we opened up Chubasco. That was our first real business together. And after some learning experiences, it took a little pause, but Andrew continued doing his thing and working with Audrey and brought to life with Dahlia.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
So I started kind of back and forth between just off industries like oil field, phlebotomy, mortuary science, so kind of everything, and then in between was always just the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it was just something I always kind of fell back into for comfort. Money wasn't there, so it was just more of a passion. But like Nick said, Chubasco was probably the first thing that kind of sparked everything. And it's funny because we just found the stickers right now. But that was kind of the first thing it was a side project at first, and then it kind of blew up to being a full-blown business because of COVID. That was the only means of making money. So during that time, it kind of just blew up to what it was, and then.
What was it?
It was
not familiar.
Cart.
Yeah. It was what?
The taco cart,
okay.
The behind trailer.
Oh, cool.
So it was literally a pop-up, the same way we started we did it at Boycott this past 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So tables, coolers, just that whole basic setup. And it was fun. We did that for about 3 years, and then we kind of evolved to a few different variations of a kiosk at the Croc Center. We were a food truck, a trailer. So every format in between with Chubasco kind of gave us that experience. And then along the way, we kind of opened up with a few other partners that didn't work out, but we got the experience, to see what it was to open something from the ground up. And then Dahlia was kind of just happenstance after everything closed down. It was more of I don't want to say rebirth, because it was just me helping a friend out, and then as we were going, it just kind of blossomed to what it was. And it wasn't supposed to be something to where I was here. It was just opening up, set back.
Yeah.
And got to more than what it was. So.
That's awesome. So Dahlia's been open for how long now?
Coming up on its 2 years, right?
2 years.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about Dahlia. For anyone who hasn't heard of you guys, give sort of the elevator pitch.
So Dahlia, like I said, that's it became something that was more of a love story, of just everything that we put into it. We didn't really have an idea of what this was going to be or what to expect. So it's more of just when you come in here, that experience that you come it's a different world. That's essentially what we wanted, an escape from within the city, because there's a lot of, and I don't want to put anything down, but there's a lot of the same, but there's nothing that really kind of takes you away from that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And with this just the decor, the bare bones of this place kind of did everything for us, and we just added the accents. But it kind of gives you that feeling. And everybody says that when you walk in, it's just like a different world. It's electric, you know?
Yeah. And what's the inspiration behind the decor, the food? Kind of give me what's the theme in here?
So the theme, I guess, rustic. I didn't want to get too. So like this was something that I built. There was a branch here when it was green, and it took up a lot of the space. But I think it was more of the focal point. Like it took a lot away from everything else. So I think when we built this space, that was the turning point. That sliding barn door, because there was a fridge that was right there behind the wall, and we were gonna leave it there and just leave it as a beverage fridge, and it just took a lot of weight. And as soon as we hung that up and moved that fridge, like that's where everything just kind of fell into place. And like, okay, this is what needs to go here, the colors and all that, because before it was just clashing with what we wanted to present ourselves as, you know, because it's not fine dining, but it's not casual, it's elevated.
Yeah.
So we wanted to come across with that, but not also be, you know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
totally.
So there's like that fine line, because also with Chubasco, what we had was that our personality, you know. So we want to make sure that comes across too.
Yeah. And the cuisine is more Spanish driven, more Latin American. Tell me a little bit about.
So that one was tricky because when Audrey asked me for the menu, like, I've never had Spanish food. I've never been to Spain. I can't say like this is what croquetas tastes like or anything like that. So with my approach to this, it was like I can do Mexican food and I can twist it to give it a Spanish twist on it, but I can't say that this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, historically, those two countries don't have the greatest relationship. So
it was one of those things where you have to like walk the line of like, you'll get the purist on either side, you know?
Yeah.
We wanted to have fun with it and kind of do our own twist, but everything that's here, the menu is part of Chubasco, like the marinades, the salsas, everything.
Yeah.
Everything is just a twist of what Chubasco is.
So it is truly unique in that sense, and that it's kind of a one-off approach to, you know, a mixture of the two cuisines, and that's really cool. Very cool. If someone came in for the first time, what do they have to get? What's your best seller? The croquetas.
Croquetas, the Spanish dates, and the ribeye.
Okay.
Those are my recommendations.
And the ribeye. Very cool. You guys are brothers, and a lot of people say don't go into business with your family. So I'm curious, like, how's that been for you guys going into business together now for the second time? You guys seem like you're doing a good job of it, which is cool.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
It's a challenge for sure.
It's a lot of learning.
But it's also it helps both of us grow, both on the business aspect and on the personal side, with our communication.
Yeah.
I think communication in this industry is the biggest thing that can either make a business or break a business. And I think the fact that we're both just constantly growing and knowing like, hey, this is a conversation. Like, let's see what we can do to get this result.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And it definitely has its moments.
For sure. For sure. But that's really cool. I mean, you guys are clearly doing it right. And so, are you both in the kitchen? Are you splitting the sort of the roles in a way, or are you kind of coming at it together from all angles together?
Kind of. It was more of like I set kind of like the foundation for what the food is, how it should go out, how it should taste, and everything, and then Nick fine-tuned everything. But he is leading the kitchen now, so I took a step back to do more of the marketing. And just overall menu development. So like if we have a special like the cantaloupe that we have on our seasonal salad, it's cantaloupe, fig, goat cheese. So things like that we try to introduce to keep the menu fun, but also he's the one that kind of limits me, because if I'm like, hey, let's do empanadas with the mole, he's like, we can't execute that, you know, on Fridays. You know, so it goes hand in hand with like stuff that he's just way better at, like handling the team as far as like what they can do, what they can prep and stuff like that. And I'm more just like creative side, like this is what, you know, like it just works out, you know.
Yeah.
And we kind of found that along the years of like our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. That's awesome. And what do you feel like's been the sort of you know, you're almost 2 years old, or you're around 2 years old. My background or my community is much more on the beer side, the distillery side, and I'm just now really starting to get to know more restaurants in that community. Like, tell me a bit about like how you guys have been received by the food community here? Like, do you feel? Give me like what's the vibe when it comes to other restaurants, other chefs? Like, is there kind of cohesion there? Is there a lot of competition? Like, I'm still learning that part of it.
In my opinion, and I think everybody has is doing their own thing, and more power to them. But same thing with on that is like we're just trying to focus on our end.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a grasp of everything and make sure that we survive through these summers. So I feel like we could be a little bit more tied into like other restaurants.
Sure.
And we are like we're doing it with the Chubasco side, but as far as Dahlia, we don't really get pulled for other.
I think it's like just the food industry in general. Like you can kind of tell there's little circles and groups like that. But I think for the most part, like the general reception from what we've had with the food, like it's been great. Like there's been no hate or anything like that. You see people that come in that are in the industry, and someone to check you out, kind of see what you're doing and how you kind of stack up. But I think for the most part, everybody has their own kind of like idea of like I guess the group, not the group that they want to hang out, you know what I mean? But it's more of like the group that you fit in, or like the group that
people right?
Right.
It's like your community, your circle,
like,
totally.
Because I don't want to make it sound dividing either, because there is part of that on both aspects. Like we notice that a lot in the mobile food industry. Like as soon as you come in, it's because it's territorial. Like if you have a spot, like that's what it is, So we come from the mobile aspect side, and we were used to that because when I came in, they was just asking questions. How do you guys do this, and this? And some people were, would help you. Like, there's been a ton that we still talk to. Estero Beach, we're doing a collaboration with him. He was one of the first vendors that we talked to when we set up in Lola. And this was back when Cultivo Mercado. But you could tell like the community, like within that community, you can see like the love between people.
Yeah.
The restaurant I think is a little bit different because like Nick said, like if you're so focused on like trying to get through the summer, like me taking the backseat doing marketing and stuff like that, like it's more so just like not having the time, but also it's just hard to kind of get.
Yeah, totally.
So there is, but there isn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of finding that in between.
Well, and that's one of the big goals for me with the Sunday dinners is to sort of start to create a little bit of community in that sense, where while there is a competition element to it, there's also a community aspect to it where you learn from each other, you get to know each other, and hopefully, but that happens. But
it did.
It did
with Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Good.
Instantly, like
amazing.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
They came in literally, I think the day after or the weekend after.
Yeah, it was the weekend after.
Sweet.
And I plan on going there for my birthday. So.
Yeah, I mean the food is really good. Yeah, so it's easier for me to go there because I live in that area. But yeah, I'm gonna bring my wife in here for sure very soon. So I guess neither of you has spent your whole career in the food industry, but your cooking and your culinary training, so to speak, do either of you come from like any sort of formal training, or is this like a family thing? Tell me a little bit about like how you got into cooking and where you learned your craft.
For me, it was kind of a growing up thing. Like when Andrew's my older brother. We have an older brother on top of that, and then our younger sister. So Andrew went into high school, or he went to culinary in high school, and that's kind of where it sparked. He would always bring home like just like pastries and food from the classes, but then our mom was a single mom too at times, so he would cook for me and then I would cook for my sister, and same thing that Andrew mentioned earlier is like I thought about it, but it was like, can you even make money? Can you make a living off of that? Like,
sure.
Realistically, I went into law enforcement, but then after, I think it was around 2018, Andrew was like, dude, they're hiring at Lux Coffee.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, cool. So went in, did a stage, and met really cool chefs or cool people there. And yeah,
That's a really cool spot. I didn't know you were there. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of where I got like, I guess my foundation for the restaurant industry.
That's awesome.
And ever since then, I just jumped through other kitchens. I went to Virtu, Omni, Resorts. That's kind of where I got the structure for mass production.
Sort of like more operations. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with all of the jobs that I've done, it kind of compels into being able to do something cool here.
That's awesome. And so you went to culinary school, or what was it?
So
you talked about oil and like all these other things. Like, where did you get started?
Well, it started off. I mean, before that, it was growing up, like he said, like my mom would cook like whatever she could. Like our biggest salad with the Chubasco was our potato tacos, and that was something that my mom made just to feed us for like 3 days, you know. And it was one of those.
Do you guys mind asking her to turn it down a little bit?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have a delivery.
I feel like the music got louder.
She's sometimes out here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You were saying.
So I started. Well, this was prior to high school, before getting into culinary school. It was one of those things where just kind of growing up, seeing your mom cook what she could. So like the potato tacos that I mentioned, that was something that she made for us just to stretch out a meal for us. But also just growing up watching Good Eats, those cooking channels, and trying to recreate certain things like cookies, and then finding out you can't replace like baking powder with baking soda. So like that, really early on kind of things like that.
You did all that with experimentation, not with,
Yeah, and it was just like what we had at home, because like we had stuff that wasn't labeled in bags and stuff like that. So like just whatever you could. So that's where it kind of really started. And then like once I got into high school, it kind of gave you the foundations, like he said, and then that's where everything kind of connected. So
that's really cool. That's really cool. I noticed you guys have a really cool bar with a great selection back there, and part of your whole thing is tapas, tequila, and wine. So, coming from largely the beverage side of things, how has that come together in terms of like your bar program and it's clearly big enough to where it's part of your tagline. Yeah. So give me a little bit about that.
I think that's probably an obvious question.
Okay.
With the tequila and wine, I think it's more of like just offering a different expansion of what you can't find here. Like there are spots like Barcoa. I don't want to leave anybody out, but that's one of them that they offer like a big selection of mezcals, bacanos, just things you can't find here.
Right.
But also the wine. So like we have a big selection of Spanish wines that we try to stick to, Mexican, some Chile, but we try to stay within those two regions for that reason. Because we have people that come in that have been to Spain, like, hey, do you guys carry like a Tempranillo or this, and this?
Right.
And I wish I knew more about wine to kind of explain that, but we have Jorge, he knows a lot more than I do, but he's better at selling like the regions, how they taste and things like that. So I think for us, it was more about offering something that you can't find anywhere else, and partly that to match with the food, because the food you can't find anywhere else either.
Yeah.
So, it's just offering something unique.
Yeah. What do you feel like's been sort of, over the last couple of years, sort of the biggest challenge or lesson? I'll leave it up to you which one of those you want to focus on, but with starting a restaurant, brick and mortar, because before you were mobile, so this is your first brick and mortar, I'm assuming. Yeah. So what's been sort of what's been the thing that if you could go back 2 years and tell yourselves 2 years ago to keep in mind, what's that thing?
So for me, it's hard because like you have this passion for a place that you're creating, and you have these expectations that you expect everybody else to uphold, and reality is everybody's different.
Sure.
So you're working with all these different personalities. For me, it was understanding that in order for me not to kill myself, I have to just have trust in the team and know that they're doing the best that they can. Because the way I cook a certain item or plate a certain item can be different from the other person's point of view. But the end goal is for it to taste the same and
Sure.
be right there on that guideline. But that was my biggest, or my point to.
So sort of letting go a little bit of
letting go and trusting the team.
Yeah.
And also just coaching.
Yeah.
Versus like old kitchens is yelling.
Yeah.
And demanding that
the Gordon Ramsay school of kitchen
that's-
operations.
Reality.
Yeah, for sure. What about you?
Probably along the same lines, like perspective and preference, I guess. Because perspective is like what he said, like having somebody that comes in, like your employees, like having them to expect them to run it the same way you would, like coming in and you see like crumbs on the floor in the corner and you're like, why isn't that cleaned up? And for them it was like we were till like 10:30, and it's one of those things where it's like just stepping back and getting a different perspective of where everybody's at too. Not only that from like employer standpoint, but just also the clients, because everybody that comes in has a preference for their food or how they want something cooked. But also that comes with how we came into the restaurant industry with like a big, how would you say, like we came in doing pretty well, so we get the people that come in with an expectation of like, okay, let's see how good they really are, So there is that
So like proving yourself kind of
right,
thing. Yeah.
So there is that idea that people are going to come in to hold you to a certain standard, but also they have preferences for how they want their food cooked. And it's one of the biggest things, like, and this was a review that we had, like they loved everything about it, like everything, nothing good. The only thing was the zip code. They're like, we could have gone to Scottsdale for the same amount of money. You know what I mean? So like it's one of those things where it's like that was a comment that kind of really,
Sure.
And it was just one of those things that it's just people. Like,
Yeah, you can't please everybody for sure. So going back even further, if you had to go back to like your high school self, what's something on the culinary side or in your career that you kind of wish you could have learned earlier, or
I'd have gone to engineering in college.
got a business degree and gone into trading stocks or something. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, right? No. Like but that's a lot of people do that, right? A lot of people go to school because they're chasing the dollar, and like, are they more successful maybe on paper than some of us? Yeah. Sure. Are they happier? I don't know. Yeah. Like, obviously the whole money doesn't buy happiness thing is like a little bullshit, because like it definitely helps.
It takes a lot of stress.
It definitely helps. But at the end of the day, I think if you can wake up and do something that you're passionate about, your overall satisfaction for your everyday life is definitely higher. So because I'm so unbelievably unfamiliar with the restaurant industry and the restaurant like world, and especially on the business side, the statistic is something crazy that like 50% of restaurants close within the first 2 years, and like all that stuff. What do you guys think is like the reason that you feel like you've been successful for the last couple of years, and like what do you think is the thing that it gives you that strength?
For me, it's the collaboration. It's all three partners and putting our knowledge together. I can't speak for everybody else because I don't know. I never got the opportunity to see like on a small business side as far as how to run a business. But one good thing about me and Andrew is like he's the creative side. I can punch numbers in and make sure that we're costing it to make sure that we're covering all ends. You know what I mean? But also structure, systems, when it comes to inventory, closing, opening schedules, just making sure that all ends are tied up. But also like 2-week check-in with the partners or revisiting costing. It's just a constant review.
Yeah.
Versus like, this is the food that we're gonna do. This is how much we need to make, and then let's go. Let's just keep going until we make it or not. You know. So it's just constant reviewing.
Yeah. You know, adjusting course consistently.
Yeah, always,
totally.
Always.
Yeah.
And I think it's been easier for us because we have 3 people that help with that.
Right.
Like, we've broken it up to where, you know, Nick has his strengths with the numbers, the team, and I do like the marketing, the creative side. Audrey's a people person. She loves, you know, getting in front of the camera, which we don't, you know, so that helps us a lot, you know, so everybody has their own role, and I think that helps us a lot because, like, if you have a restaurant, like, by yourself, trying to do everything, like, on top of making sure that you open on time with food, like, it's a lot. You know?
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is just having the time to do everything and doing it well. But I think that's the biggest struggle for restaurants. Is like,
Yeah. Well, and you know, going back to what you guys were talking about, you both mentioned kind of the biggest challenge has been sort of the people and coaching and letting go and allowing them to do their work and all that stuff. That resonates because I'm actually in the process of hiring my first employee, and I'm like terrified of like I don't want to say terrified, but I'm nervous about like that, like boss-employee relationship, because I've been in leadership positions before, but it wasn't my business, and that like frames it differently. So if you had to give me a piece of advice about hiring my first employee and managing that relationship, or alternatively, like, where do you feel like you learned that? Was it by trial and error, or was there a resource or a mentor that you guys had that kind of helped kind of learn that side of things?
For me, it was experience. We had Chubasco.
Yeah.
We had 6 employees under there.
Okay.
It's, for one thing, is setting the expectations before you even bring them in. You know, like, hey, this is a job. You know, I don't know if it's a family friend or if it's a friend or if it's just some random person. Yeah. But just setting the expectations of like, hey, you know, when we come in into these doors, you know, I have these expectations for you to hold. You know, when we step out, I mean, even then, like, in or out, you always have an open door possibility. You know, you can come in and talk when days are tough, personal side or even here. Yeah. But I guess setting expectations and training. Make sure that you spend the time to make sure that they're on the same page with you, versus being like, hey, this is the job, you know, this is what I need you to do. Yeah. I got other shit I got to take care of. Totally. Because I feel like that's what happens is, especially in the culinary industry, is like, I need you to make brava sauce, stuffed dates, this. All right, bye. Yeah. And it's like their version of doing a brava sauce could be different from ours. Sure. You know, so make sure that you spend that time. Yeah. With them.
Very cool. All right. Well, actually, no, I had one more question before we do our 20 questions. Is there a restaurant or is there a restaurant that you guys are excited about that maybe you haven't visited yet that you want to go check out? I want to start, you know, maybe plugging some people that maybe want, you know.
Right across the street.
Yeah, there's been a couple that we haven't had. Yeah, they just opened up. We haven't had a chance to check them out.
Okay. Yeah. You said Marisco Boys?
Yeah, Marisco Boys.
It was like a Baja California sort of Mexican seafood kind of thing?
I don't know what part of Mexico they're from. I'm not sure if they're specific to that for their seafood. But I know they have grilled oysters. Okay. Grilled fish. So they have some bigger dishes and stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about them. Cool. Just been kind of like with us when we opened up, is working out your kinks. Yeah. So we're just giving them that time. Yeah. That's across
all the service industry. Yeah. I've been to breweries within their first couple weeks that needed to figure some things out that then, you know, several years later were some of the best breweries in town for sure. All right, so these are you know, supposed to be kind of rapid fire, but feel free to elaborate if you feel like you need to. Okay. We're gonna start real easy. Favorite food,
Ah,
or you could say favorite menu item if you wanted to go. Plug something in.
Pizza, I would say.
Pizza.
I like Italian food.
Italian food. Okay, well that's funny. I used to ask the question Mexican food or Italian food, which I would have thought Mexican food, but
I eat it every day, man.
yeah, totally. All right, what's like a weird fun fact about you? Like a fun skill that you have. Wiggle your ears.
Bleak.
What's that?
Bleak.
Oh, the
Yeah.
the weird spitting thing. Okay.
Bleak.
I don't know, man.
That is weird.
Yeah.
No-
Should
Like
give
it's
that to
so
yourself.
useless.
yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I
that's
work
okay.
too much.
That's okay.
Fine.
Beer, wine, or spirits?
Ooh, spirits.
Spirits.
Beer, spirits.
Beer.
whiskey.
And and if you had to pick a favorite?
Beer. Modelo Negra.
Okay.
Mezcal.
Love it. Sweet or savory when it comes to food?
Savory.
Savory.
Savory. Your favorite vacation you've ever been on?
Escaret.
Okay. Yeah.
That place is so beautiful.
Mine hasn't happened. I'm going to Spain in November.
Okay.
So-
Very cool. What part? All over? or-
Barcelona.
Yeah. I got to see a soccer match in
Jeez.
Barcelona when I was
Yeah, I
there.
heard so many good
It was
things
super
about
cool. And then obviously like La Sagrada Familia is like breathtaking.
Yes.
If they're ever gonna finish it ever. Like they've been working on it for like 120 years or something
Yeah.
like that. It's
They're
crazy.
Apparently 1 year away.
Yeah,
That-
sure.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm sure they said that 100 years ago. Rain or sunshine?
Rain.
Rain.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Favorite book? If you had to pick one.
I haven't read lately, but there was one in high school. It was a dumb book. I can't. The Adventures of Nick Twist or something like that.
Okay,
It was
you liked it.
pretty good.
Mine was a biography on Marco Pierre.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember the title, but it was just his from when he got into culinary, how he got into culinary,
Cool.
his jumping through kitchens and
Yeah.
learning experience.
That's awesome. Camping or resort?
Camping.
At the same time too. That was good. Beach or forest?
Forest.
Wow, you guys are brothers. All right, here's a fun one: Jedi or Sith?
I haven't watched Star Wars.
You haven't watched Star Wars? Okay, then maybe the next one neither. But Sam or Frodo? Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I don't
No.
know.
Okay, you guys aren't nearly as nerdy as I am. What about a superhero you most identify with?
I don't know.
Who's a Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler, the guy that like disappears and
Yeah.
teleports. Yeah, he was fun.
Frozen.
Frozen. That's
Where's my super suit?
that is a legitimate answer. Spirit animal.
A lion.
A lion. Okay, I like that.
Spirit animal?
Yeah.
Or a wolf.
A bee?
A bee.
Yeah.
That's where your similarities start to really go to coffee shop order.
I'll do a quad, black and white, so vanilla and mocha. Yeah.
Just do black coffee with a little.
Or espresso.
Yeah. Your go-to karaoke song.
What is it called? Se me olvidó otra vez by Juan Gabriel.
Okay. It's a great song.
The last one I did was Something in the Orange by Zach.
Yeah. Very cool. The weirdest food you've ever tried.
Like super weird.
Crickets.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
eat those
we
every
have
day.
them, yeah.
You have them here?
The only thing that I could think of is the sea urchin, but that's not even that weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's delicious.
That's fair. What about a historical or fictional character that you'd want to have a beer with?
Historical or
Charlie the Unicorn.
You just
Struggle.
We just established our generation by talking about Charlie the Unicorn.
I don't know. Fictional or
No? It's a deep question.
Would be. I don't know.
Think about it. If you come up with an answer before we finish, you can blurt it out.
Okay.
Your favorite ice cream flavor? We're really swinging the pendulum here in terms of.
Mint chocolate chip.
Okay, you know what's funny? So I've done like six of these interviews now, and I think at least half of them have been mint chocolate chip.
But it has to be the shaved chocolate.
The shaved chocolate. Okay.
I'm not big on ice cream.
No?
But if I had to choose, it's the cookies and cream.
Yeah. And your favorite TV show?
I don't watch TV that much.
You don't watch TV that much? You're busy running a restaurant.
No, that was one show I was like so obsessed with. Shameless.
Okay.
Shameless. Yeah.
The regular show.
The regular show. I don't know that one.
What?
No, what is that?
Yeah, it's Mordecai and Rigby.
You need to watch it.
It's
Okay.
a stupid show.
Okay.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It was like Cartoon Network days, pre-Cartoon Network.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no plot to it. It's just random stupid shit.
Gotcha. Sort of like an Adult Swim kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Fair enough. Well, that's the end of my very rigorous question gauntlet. Tell everybody, what you guys are up to. If you guys have anything happening at the restaurant anytime soon, or just plug whatever you want to plug. Tell them.
For Dahlia, right now we're playing with paella. So we did it a while back. I think about a year ago now.
You said paella?
Yeah, paella.
Very cool.
More towards the traditional way, so it takes time. I don't know if it'll be on the menu. I think it'll be something like you come in and it's spontaneous, like, hey, we have paella.
Yeah.
You want to buy it?
Sort of like a if you know special kind of thing.
Yes.
Sure.
But as far as Dahlia, I think the menu is pretty set. We might be swapping the salad every now and then. We do have a rotating crudo. So right now we're
Very
on
cool.
agua chile verde. The next one will either be a yellow agua chile or back to the negro, which is my favorite. But yeah, I think Andrew has the Chubasco side that he wants to pop in.
We have trying to bring back Tabasco, so
Cool.
more collaborations right now.
Yeah.
And then hopefully brick and mortar soon, but that's kind of like on hold right now.
That's awesome.
And then Dahlia, Nick's got the Dahlia updates. What else do we have?
We're
Behind the scenes is more trying to help with marketing and stuff like. So what I'm doing now with Dahlia is I kind of built an umbrella kind of thing to help restaurants with marketing, social media, things like that, just to get their, I guess, online visibility just present.
Sure.
That's a lot harder right now.
100%.
So that's something I'm working on. It's just kind of taking really, really slow. But other than that,
caterings. We're
Caterings.
working on caterings for both sides, Dahlia and Chubasco.
Very cool.
So that'll be nice.
Yeah, that's great. I did forget to ask a little bit more about the Sunday dinner and just kind of like what your experience was, feedback for me if there's something that you would want to tweak or anything like that. I'd love to kind of get your guys' perspective on.
I think you planned it really well.
Yeah, I think it was fun.
The way you laid it out was awesome. It was nice to collaborate with the other chefs, and there was like you said, it wasn't like Mean Girl style or like
Cutthroat.
Like, everybody was like, oh dude, that's cool, like you're doing this. Like,
yeah, I think it was
hey,
really
you want
cool.
half shots?
Yeah, I think the way you had it set up to where each had their own section, but it wasn't divided like that. Like you could still kind of go around. But I think everything kind of flowed. I mean, the only pinch point was just the transition between the food, but I think that's expected because of the amount of people that there is.
Yeah.
But I think it was really well put together.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Definitely come by, check out Dahlia Tapas, and keep an eye out for Churrasco and everything else you guys are doing. And thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.